Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're delving deep into a story that blurs the line between family, love, and suffocating control. A psychological tale I call Nora's Nightmare, the sinister legacy of the matriarch. This isn't your typical jump scare horror. No, this is a slow burn, a chilling exploration of how the past can haunt the present in the most unexpected ways. Our story begins with Nora, a young woman who, after years of living abroad, returns to her ancestral home, Blackwood Manor, following the death of her formidable grandmother, Elara. Blackwood isn't just a house, it's a character in itself, sprawling Gothic estate. Its walls seem to breathe with the secrets of generations past. Nora remembers her childhood here as a mix of opulence and unease. Her grandmother was the undisputed queen of the family, a matriarch whose love felt conditional, her approval a prize to be won. As Nora steps back into the manor, the air is thick with the scent of dried roses and old paper. It's the very essence of Elara. The family lawyer hands her a letter, not a will, but a personal note from the late matriarch. It reads, "My dearest Nora, the house is yours, but its heart must be earned. Follow the whispers of the past, and you will find your true inheritance." Cryptic, right? Kara dismisses it as her grandmother's typical flair for the dramatic. She just wants to sort through the estate and move on. The first few days are deceptively normal. Nora wanders through dusty rooms, cataloging antiques and memories. But soon, the house begins to shift. A portrait of Elara, her eyes unnervingly lifelike, seems to follow Nora from room to room. Doors creak open on their own, and then there are the whispers. Faint at first, like the rustling of silk, they seem to coil in the corners of her hearing, always just out of reach. Nora tries to rationalize a tolled house, overactive imagination, grief. But a cold dread begins to seep into her bones. Her first concrete clue comes from her grandmother's locked study. After finding a hidden key inside a music box that plays a hauntingly familiar tune, Nora enters the one room that was always off limits. The study is a shrine to Elara's control. Every wall is lined with meticulously organized journals, one for each year of her life. Compelled by a morbid curiosity, Nora opens the most recent one. The handwriting is frail but firm. The entries detail Elara's obsession with the family legacy, a legacy not of wealth, but of influence and control, passed down from mother to daughter. The journal speaks of a cleansing ritual, a way to ensure the family's strength by pruning the weak. A shiver runs down Nora's spine as she reads about her own mother, who left the family when Nora was just a child. Elara's writing paints her daughter's departure not as an escape, but as a failure, a branch that needed to be cut. The whispers in the house grow louder now, and Nora starts hearing a faint, feminine voice humming the melody from the music box. Driven by a mix of fear and determination, Nora follows the trail left in the journals. They lead her to a series of hidden compartments throughout the manor. In one, she finds a collection of antique dolls, each one representing a female family member, their faces eerily similar. In another, she discovers letters from her own mother, desperate pleas to Elara to let her see Nora, all marked return to sender. The narrative Nora had been told that her mother abandoned her begins to crumble, replaced by a much darker truth. Her grandmother hadn't just disapproved, she had actively erased her own daughter from their lives. The psychological toll on Nora is immense. She stops sleeping. The house is no longer a home, but a labyrinth of her grandmother's design. The whispers are constant, sometimes sounding like Elara's sharp rebukes, other times like the soft, sorrowful humming. Nora starts to see things of fleeting shadow in a mirror that looks like her grandmother, her own reflection momentarily twisting into Elara's stern visage. She's trapped in a psychological game, orchestrated by a woman who is gone but more present than ever. Is she losing her mind, or is the house itself enforcing the will of its former mistress? Her search culminates in the attic, the final location hinted at in the journals. Behind a loose wall panel, she finds a small, dust-covered chest. Inside is not gold or jewels, but a single, stained journal bound in white leather, her mother's. With trembling hands, Nora opens it. The pages tell a story of a young woman slowly being suffocated by her mother's expectations. She didn't want the family's legacy of control. She just wanted a life of her own. She hadn't abandoned Nora. She had tried to escape with her, but Ilara had thwarted her at every turn, threatening to use the family's immense power to ruin her if she ever tried to make contact. The final entry is heartbreaking. It's a letter to Nora filled with love, regret, and a desperate hope that one day she would be old enough to understand. Tucked within the pages is a faded photograph of a smiling young woman holding a baby, her mother holding her. As Nora reads the last words, "My love for you is the one thing she can never control," the humming in the house stops. The oppressive atmosphere lifts as if a spell has been broken. The whispers fall silent. In that moment, Nora understands. Her true inheritance wasn't the house or the money. It was the truth. It was the freedom her mother had fought for. Ilara's nightmare wasn't a ghost story. It was a battle for Nora's soul. The matriarch wanted to mold Nora into her successor, using psychological manipulation from beyond the grave to continue her legacy of control. But by uncovering the truth, by choosing to embrace her mother's love over her grandmother's power, Nora broke the cycle. The story ends with Nora standing on the porch of Blackwood Manor, her mother's journal in hand. The house behind her is just a house now, its shadows no longer menacing. She hasn't decided if she will sell it or stay, but it doesn't matter. She is finally free. The sinister legacy of the matriarch has ended, not with a bang, but with the quiet turning of a page and the rediscovery of a love that was never truly lost. What a chilling journey, right? It just goes to show that some of the deepest horrors lie within the dynamics of a family. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If you enjoyed this deep dive into psychological horror, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, stay curious.